Hello, hello. Thank you so much for tuning in to this true crime ASMR soft-spoken video. Today I have a unsolved case that has one of the strangest details that I've ever heard of. If you're like me, you've listened to a lot of cases, and I feel that many of us have probably not heard a case with this detail before. But this case isn't very well known. There wasn't much information out there, and I had never heard of it before, and I don't think a lot of people have. So we are going to be talking about the case of Donna Dahl. So Donna Susan Dahl was born 1949 in Brookfield. Donna was this responsible and driven girl. She grew up in a household with strict parents who had a lot of expectations. Around 8th grade, she developed a close friendship with Donna Charlotte. We're going to call her Donna C because they both are Donnas. Donna C described her as never wild. She was unworldly and innocent. Donna C remembers her friend being burdened with responsibilities at home as a teenager. She basically took care of her younger brother and younger sister, and she always had chores to do. She would clean the house and babysit, and she was pretty tied down, so she didn't really go out or do much. She was extremely intelligent and driven in her academics from the start. In 1967, she graduated from Riverside Brookfield High School, and she was 15th in her class and was a member of the National Honor Society. She went on to attend Northern Illinois University, where she studied Russian and hoped to become a teacher. She attended Middlebury College in Pennsylvania in the summers of 1969 and 1970 and earned credit towards a master's degree. You go, girl. Although her classes were demanding and difficult, she had really changed from the constraints she had in high school and balanced time for dating and seeing friends. Even though she was on a scholarship for school, she still worked weeknights at Swin Parson Library to earn some money. Her and Donna C had remained friends throughout all of this time. She was a bridesmaid in Donna C's wedding earlier in the year, and they had a really close relationship. On October 2nd, 1970, Donna made plans to see her friend Donna C after her shift at the library. Donna C was going to meet her at the library to pick her up, where they would get together and catch up, since it had been a little while seeing each other due to Donna attending school in Pennsylvania during that summertime, and Donna C was a newlywed. Donna C waited at the library for a while, but Donna never showed. And since it was the 70s, cell phones were not a thing. People just kind of went off the assumption that plans changed. So at this point, it wasn't a really big deal. Donna also did not return to her home in the West Lincoln Highway rooming house. After 2 days, friends noticed Donna had not been there at all since she had clocked out from the library at 9:59 p.m. on Friday. Around 11:30 p.m. on October 4th, her house parents reported her missing to DeKalb police. So police arrive and search her room. Her clothes and suitcase were there. So was her last paycheck from the library, which was uncashed. And so she couldn't have had more than like $10 in her pocket. Despite her friends' and family's concerns, police said they did not suspect foul play. They were then told that Donna had been seeing someone from Pittsburgh and assumed that she had gone to visit him. Her friend Donna C. says this man may have been either married or recently separated, and due to her parents being really strict, the police assumed she went on to see him without telling anyone due to this. Police also say they had no reason to suspect foul play because there was no abduction reported to them, and that there's a difference between a witness seeing someone else being taken by someone versus someone who's reported missing 2 days after she was last seen. The 70s logic. You know, it's like it's not an abduction unless someone witnesses it. It would be later revealed that Donna's boyfriend in Pittsburgh had not heard from her that weekend. So as the days pass, there's still no sign of her, and family and friends are doing all they can to try to find her. Groups organize search parties to look through the surrounding areas for any answers. Donna C. was very involved and supportive of Donna's parents at this time. In the week after her disappearance, the Dahl family received several strange phone calls. Donna C. said someone called 6 or 7 times and said, "I know where your daughter is." Around 8:30 p.m. on October 11th, 3 teens were on their way to a party when they drove out to Nelson Road, a little over a mile west of the campus. Since they were picking up a stash of beer that had been hidden in the area a week before. One of the teens walked through the cornfield to find the beer, where he saw a body laying on its back under a tree about 5 feet away. The 2 girls with him did not see it, and he ordered them back into his car, and the 3 drove to the police department to report what they had found. The police followed the teens back to Nelson Road, and when they arrived on the scene, they found the body was fully clothed. Only the shoes were missing. Around 3 a.m. that Monday, Charles Burke, a graduate student in the NIU math department, identified the body. He was a friend of Donna's, but also someone that she had previously dated. Ironically, a search party that was organized by Charles Burke and some of Donna's friends in the NIU Foreign Language Department had walked along the railroad tracks west of this area looking for Donna. They ended their search about a quarter of a mile short of where she was found. She had her jacket on, but it was not the trench coat she was last seen in. Her shoes, trench coat, and purse were never found. The county sheriff, Roger Scott, said that in the 1970s, Nelson Road was a popular spot for NIU students to drive to park and drink. The dorms were not co-ed then, and there was a lot more road partying. Pathologists determined that she had been suffocated with a pillow or plastic bag, even though no fibers were found in her lungs or airways, which is usually consistent with suffocation. It was reported she had possibly been alive for at least 48 hours after disappearing. A mystery substance was found, but pathologists were unable to identify or explain it. Donna did not have any visible signs of violence, which was a possible indicator that she knew her attacker. An observation made by officials was that Doll had eaten an abnormal amount of potatoes before her death, amounting to about 5 or 6 pounds. I don't know what kind of potatoes, but I think it's slightly important. But regardless, that is a fairly large amount, I would think, 5 to 6 pounds. Authorities had quickly identified a person of interest upon discovery of the body. They suspected that Charles Burke may have had a motive. It was reported that Donna may have recently broken up with him. Donna C. said that she received letters from Donna while she was attending the summer foreign language program in the PA school, and she had told her that she had plans to end the relationship with Charles, and she was interested in a man from Pittsburgh, and that this man had planned to visit her at NIU over Halloween. Donna C. goes on to describe Charles as a possessive jerk and a nerd who did not have an intellect that matched Donna's. I love the 70s. Charles lived alone in the apartment at Suburban Estates. This was close to the spot on Nelson Road where Donna's body was found. The day the sheriffs announced to the press that there was a prime suspect in the case and identified Charles tried to end his life by slitting his wrists. He hired an attorney after being released from medical care. On October 20th, 1970, his attorney told the press, "Burke has been quite emotionally disrupted over Miss Doll's death and has been extremely cooperative with the police, working 20 out of 24 hours with them when called upon to help. He even volunteered to take a polygraph test." Regardless, Charles was the pallbearer at Donna's funeral, and she was buried wearing a pair of earrings that he had given her. There was never enough evidence to charge anyone with Donna's murder, and the case still remains open. This case has been unsolved for almost 53 years. So there's not too many theories on this case. There's really not much information, but I did grasp onto a few. One is that she was possibly force-fed to eat an excessive amount of potatoes prior to being killed. There's an idea that she was possibly abducted, held captive if she was alive for 48 hours. Maybe she was starved and then given potatoes to consume, or she was force-fed and then suffocated and dumped into the cornfield. But some have very skeptical views about the forensic pathology findings that occurred decades ago. It's reported that the 1970 DeKalb County used a county coroner who was actually a funeral director, not a forensic pathologist. This was very common before we really had the advancement of science and forensic. Often funeral directors would perform like the autopsy and findings of deaths. So all the findings about the time, the manner of death, including the potatoes, may have been inaccurate. Another view I saw people discussing was the possibility that Donna had an eating disorder such as pica or binge eating disorder. Raw potatoes can be a food that people with pica sometimes crave due to its earthy and raw substance. So pica is when people eat like non-food items, things that are not typically edible. So when someone is consuming these things, it can make them ill. And they were saying, like, if the potatoes had been raw and she was eating them in like a large amount, this may have caused a health condition that may have been seen as a suffocation, and maybe it was a natural cause. I don't know. And then, of course, I saw someone dabble in there, Russia, because she was studying Russian, but I think we can skip over those theories for now. The biggest belief is that her ex-boyfriend, or soon-to-be ex-boyfriend, had murdered her. It's possible that he caught up with her before she left to meet with her friend outside of the library and convinced her to have a quick talk about everything. After that, he was able to take her back to his place, or maybe she ate potatoes, she was forced to eat potatoes, she'd eaten them earlier, or maybe she hadn't eaten them at all. And then she was murdered after that. So anyone with information on this case can contact the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office at 815-895-2155. This, again, is such a bizarre case with the idea of the consumption of 5 to 6 pounds of potatoes. Let me know what you guys think. I am trying to get a better setup of everything. My laptop is currently on top of a cracker box and a pillow. And I'm thinking if I can, like, my double chin doesn't have to be the main guest in this video channel. But, what, if you want to answer, what kind of true crime videos do you like? Do you like disappearances, bizarre circumstances, unsolved crimes, solved crimes, like kind of the ones that are very mainstream, ones that you've never heard of? If you have any preference or suggestions, please let me know. But in the meantime, I hope that you are having a good day or night wherever you are. I hope you have a good day tomorrow, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you.